Topping today's news, the Privy Council rules on the government's citizenship approval. Prime Minister Davis and the Attorney General react to the citizenship ruling by the Privy Council, and the Prime Minister also reacting to the Chief Justice ruling on shantytown demolitions. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Jcn Saunders. This is your JCN Evening News. It's a pleasure to have you join us. The Privy Council in London handing down a landmark ruling early Thursday morning that now paves the way for those battling for their right to citizenship in the Bahamas to be granted the same, a controversial citizenship issue that affects individuals born in the Bahamas to unwed foreign mothers and Bahamian fathers. The Privy Council in its ruling found that the Bahamas' constitution does in fact grant Bahamian citizenship at birth to individuals born in the Bahamas to an unmarried woman who is not a citizen of the Bahamas and a man who is a Bahamian. The ruling from the Privy Council comes on the heels of the Attorney General disputing certain facts regarding Shannon Tyreek Roll and 4 other respondents' claims for citizenship. Shannon and his siblings Lavon Roll and Kashanya Roll, along with Mason Pierre and Nikki Pierre, all maintain that they are the biological children born in the Bahamas to unmarried mothers without a Bahamian citizenship to Bahamian fathers. They argued that they are citizens by birth. In 2020, a ruling from Supreme Court Justice, now Chief Justice, Sir Ian Winder, that every person born in the Bahamas shall become a citizen of the Bahamas at their date of birth, if either biological parent, regardless of marital status, is a Bahamian. That was upheld in the Court of Appeal following an appeal by the Attorney General's office. It has been acknowledged that these appeals raise an issue which is a matter of high constitutional importance, not only for the Attorney General, but for the people of the Bahamas generally. The Privy Council advised that the appeal by the Attorney General be dismissed. Following the Privy Council's ruling, Prime Minister Philip Davis, in a response via a statement from London, says in light of the Privy Council's decision to uphold the landmark judgment made by the Bahamas Supreme Court in 2020, he gives his support and commitment to ensuring that the Bahamas' laws and policies are fair and just for all Bahamians. Prime Minister Davis noting that the ruling affirms that children born out of wedlock in the Bahamas to biological Bahamian fathers and foreign mothers are citizens of the Bahamas at birth and do not have to wait until they are 18 years old to apply for citizenship. He went on to say the Privy Council's decision marks an important step towards ensuring equal citizenship rights for all children, irrespective of their parents' marital status, and is expected to impact the lives of many individuals in the Bahamas positively. The Prime Minister noting that he is dedicated to building a more inclusive and equitable Bahamas and says his government will work diligently to implement the Privy Council's decision and review the existing citizenship legislation to align with this new development. The Prime Minister is calling for all Bahamians to come together to strive to create a Bahamas that embraces the principles of equality, justice, and unity, where each person's rights are respected and protected under the law. Meanwhile, Attorney General Senator Ryan Pinder expressed similar sentiments to the Prime Minister. In a statement, the AG, who was also in London, said his office will work diligently to ensure the implementation of the Privy Council's ruling and carry out a review of existing citizenship legislation.
I've studied the ruling in its entirety, and we'll just see what the lawyers have to say about it. But what I can say is that we respect the decisions of the court. We abide that decision unless and until it is overturned.
That was Prime Minister Philip Davis from London responding to a ruling handed down by the Chief Justice Sir Ian Winder on Wednesday, a ruling concerning the proposed demolition of some 260 structures in shanty towns here in New Providence and on Abaco. In his ruling, Sir Ian ordered the demolition of only 2 shanty town structures, far less than what the government was hoping for. Sir Ian's decision was based on the principle that individuals were not properly notified of the injunction prohibiting expansion of structures in shantytown communities and could not be penalized or held in breach. The demolition notices were given in 2018, and the government argued that signs were posted in strategic areas in both English and in Creole. Earlier this year, Supreme Court Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson lifted the shantytown injunction that prohibited the government from tearing down structures in the unregulated communities. After the lifting of the injunction, the government sought to have structures built in breach of the injunction demolished. Meanwhile, as it relates to illegal migrants entering the country, particularly in light of the United Nations' recent call for countries to halt deportation of Haitian migrants, the Prime Minister responded with the following.
We're already overburdened by the fact that by the fact of interception, detention, and sending them back. Our resources are limited. We have to address the climate change issues that continually impact us and affect us. We are still recovering from Dorian, and most of our issues are externally driven. And so those countries who are out there who could help Haiti, I call on them, please come and help Haiti. And that is my cry. But as presently advised, and in our present situation, we respectfully reject the plea, and we will do our part to protect our borders. We will continue to be as humane and compassionate to the Haitian people. We understand the challenges in Haiti, but at this time, we are unable to respond in the manner in which we're being called upon by the international community, when the international community themselves are not doing enough to help the situation in Haiti.
The judiciary of the Bahamas recently launched the Digital Court Recording Project funded by the Department of State Bureau of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs. An accurate record of legal proceedings, whether in a courtroom, a hearing room, or a deposition room, is essential to preserve the integrity of a justice system. The new technology uses microphones that capture the spoken word that produce the final product, which can be accessed by authorized judiciary personnel, litigants, and attorneys who will have almost immediate access to the information. Ian Winder, Chief Justice of the Judiciary of the Bahamas, shares his thoughts on the new technology and how it will assist the court system that is plagued with a backlog of cases.
The expectation is that when it's relaunched, all the courts in the province, save for 5 civil courts, which we hope to be outfitted by mid-June, will have the digital court reporting. On this phase of digital court reporting, we'll have what's called a speech-to-text. So by end of day, the judge, judicial officer, can get a rough copy of the transcript, which will be available almost immediately in that context. So all the delays in terms of getting appeals, all the delays in terms of getting transcripts back to have closing submissions, hopefully that will be a thing of the past, and we can speed up the hearing of the cases.
The system will be implemented in collaboration with the National Center for State Courts. And while the number of available traditional court reporters has declined, caseloads in the courts have increased, especially in the Caribbean region. The program will be completed this year with digital recording systems in more than 35 courts and hearing rooms here in the Bahamas. And finally, in this segment, police on San Salvador are investigating reports of an assault which has resulted in 2 adult females receiving injuries. According to information received sometime around 11:50 a.m. on Wednesday while at an educational institution in the central district of San Salvador, a parent of a student and a school executive were engaged in an argument. This dispute between the 2 females then escalated into a physical altercation, which resulted in both parties receiving minor injuries. The individuals involved are assisting police with their investigation. A similar incident took place in Central Eleuthera in January this year when a teacher was attacked by a parent in the principal's office. The parent in that case was eventually arrested by police. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back after these commercials.